Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Norwegian cruise lines have all quietly updated their guest conduct policies this year, and the result is absolutely terrifying for the unprepared traveler. We are seeing a record number of passengers being escorted off ships, left stranded in foreign ports with their luggage on the dock, and banned for life. And here is the scary part. Most of these people were not starting brawls at the bar or smuggling illicit items. Many of them committed what they thought were completely innocent mistakes. Imagine this scenario. You are 3 days into your $5,000 dream vacation. You are relaxing by the pool, sipping a cocktail. Suddenly, security taps you on the shoulder. They don't give you a warning. They give you 30 minutes to pack your bags. Why? Because of a harmless item you packed in your suitcase, or a joke you made that didn't land. I am an industry insider, and I have seen families ruined because they didn't read the fine print on page 12 of the cruise contract. Today, I am revealing the 7 innocent mistakes that act as an immediate one-way ticket home. We will cover everything from the health lie everyone tells to the specific behavior on your balcony that triggers silent alarms on the bridge. Buckle up. You cannot afford to miss this. Let's start with something that seems trivial, but has become the #1 cause of security calls on modern cruise ships. The deck chair war. We all know the frustration. You walk out to the pool deck at 9 a.m. and every single lounger is taken. Not by people, but by towels, flip-flops, and cheap paperbacks. The chair hogs are out in force. Now, here is where the innocent mistake happens. You see a chair that has been empty for an hour. You are frustrated. You decide to move the towel to the floor and sit down. It feels like justice, right? But then, the owner comes back. Words are exchanged. Maybe you raise your voice. Maybe you point a finger in their chest. In the post-pandemic travel world, cruise lines have adopted a strictly enforced zero-tolerance policy regarding aggressive behavior. You might think you are just defending your spot, but to the ship's security officer, you are a potential threat. Here is the insider secret. Security officers on ships are often former military or police. They do not de-escalate like a school teacher. They neutralize threats. If you are seen screaming at another passenger over a chair, or if you throw their belongings, you can be deemed a disturbance to the peace. I have seen a family escorted off in Nassau simply because the father got into a shouting match over a sunbed. The captain decided he was too volatile to remain on board. Was he violent? No. Did he touch anyone? No. But he was aggressive. If someone hogs a chair, find a deck attendant. Let them do their job. Do not let a $10 towel cost you a $5,000 vacation. This next mistake is heartbreaking, because it usually happens before the ship even leaves the home port. You haven't even had your first cocktail yet, and you are already banned. It is the innocent joke. You are standing in the long security line at the terminal. You are tired. The security agent asks if you have any sharp objects, weapons, or explosives in your bag. You, trying to be funny, chuckle and say, "Only the bomb I'm smuggling to my mother-in-law," or "just my machine gun." You might think everyone knows you are joking. You might be laughing. But maritime law treats this identically to an actual threat. There is no sense of humor clause in port security regulations. The moment you utter words like bomb, gun, or terrorist in a joking manner during check-in, the protocol is automatic. Security halts the line. Local police are called. You are pulled aside for an intense interrogation. Even if they determine you don't have a weapon, the cruise line reserves the right to deny boarding because you caused a security panic. A passenger on a Carnival ship was permanently banned for joking about having a virus during a health screening a few years ago. He thought it was satire. The cruise line thought it was a public health threat. Leave your comedy routine at home. Answer yes or no. Be polite. Be boring. Boring gets you on the ship. Funny gets you left at the pier. Let's move to your cabin. specifically the balcony. This is your private sanctuary, right? Wrong. Most people know you cannot smoke on your balcony. That is Cruise 101. But there is an innocent version of this mistake that gets people kicked off faster than smoking. It is leaving hazardous items unattended or flicking things overboard. Fire is the single greatest danger on a ship at sea. Because of this, the bridge has sophisticated sensors that can detect heat and smoke on balconies. I have seen passengers kicked off for lighting a simple citronella candle to create a romantic atmosphere. They think it is safe because they are watching it, but open flames are strictly forbidden. Even worse is flicking ash or trash overboard. You might think flicking a cigarette butt or a piece of paper into the ocean is harmless, but the aerodynamics of a moving ship create a suction effect, a vortex at the rear. That cigarette butt doesn't fall down into the water. It gets sucked back into the ship, often landing on a balcony 2 decks below you. If you are caught throwing anything overboard, even a piece of fruit, you are violating international maritime pollution laws. The ship's cameras are always watching the hull. If they identify your cabin as the source, you will be disembarked at the next port. No refund, no questions asked. Now, we need to talk about the mistake that responsible parents and tech-savvy travelers make all the time. This is the big trap. You want to stay in touch with your family on the massive ship. Maybe you have a baby napping in the cabin, so you bring a high-end baby monitor. Or maybe you bring your powerful long-range walkie-talkies. You plug them in. They work great. You feel safe. 2 hours later, security confiscates them. If you argue, you are off the ship. Why? It is all about frequency. Modern cruise ships rely on specific radio frequencies for navigation and internal crew operations. Many consumer-grade devices, especially older baby monitors and high-powered amateur radios, operate on frequencies that interfere with the ship's critical systems. Imagine the captain trying to communicate with the docking pilot, but all he hears is your baby crying or you asking for more pizza. This is a massive safety violation. Also, keep in mind that cruise lines ban anything that poses a fire risk due to batteries or heating elements. While you might know your surge protector is safe at home, ships use a different electrical grounding system. Bringing a standard household power strip is one of the fastest ways to get your luggage held at security. Use the ship's app to chat, not your own radio equipment. We live in a post-pandemic world, and cruise lines are not playing games with biology. Before you board, you must sign a health declaration. It asks if you have had a fever or cough in the last 48 hours. You have a slight tickle in your throat. You spent thousands on this trip. You are afraid they won't let you on. So, you check no. You think you are saving your vacation. In reality, you are risking a permanent ban. Here is how they catch you. You get on board, and within 24 hours your symptoms get worse. You go to the ship's medical center because you need medicine. The doctor looks at your records. They see you claimed you were perfectly healthy yesterday, but your viral load suggests you've been sick for 3 days. Lying on a maritime health document is a violation of the guest conduct policy. But it gets worse. If you are the patient zero who starts a virus outbreak on the ship because you lied to get on board, the cruise line can legally sue you for damages. We are talking about costs for deep cleaning the ship and compensating other passengers. If you are sick, most cruise lines will actually offer you a future cruise credit if you declare it honestly before boarding. But if you lie and get caught, you get kicked off, and you get 0 refund. The crew on cruise ships are amazing. They work hard, and often they are young and attractive. It is natural to want to befriend them, but there is a line you absolutely cannot cross. Fraternization. You might think you are being nice by insisting the bartender take a shot with you. You might think it's romantic to invite your favorite waiter back to your cabin. You might think meeting a crew member at a port nightclub is a fun date. You need to stop. Cruise lines have incredibly strict rules about crew-passenger interaction. Crew members are not allowed in passenger cabins ever, unless they are performing a specific job. They are not allowed to drink alcohol with you. If you are found in a crew-only area, or if a crew member is found in your cabin for non-work reasons, the consequences are devastating. For the crew member, they are fired immediately and sent home. For you, you are disembarked for soliciting crew to violate company policy. You are not just ruining your vacation, you are ruining someone's livelihood. Be friendly, tip generously, smile, but keep the relationship professional. Do not be the reason someone loses their job today. Finally, let's talk about what happens when you get off the ship and try to get back on. You are in a port, like Cozumel or Jamaica. You see local vendors selling CBD gummies, or maybe just some cool-looking camouflage cargo shorts. Let's break this down, because this is where local laws versus ship laws confuse everyone. Did you know that in many Caribbean islands like Barbados and St. Lucia, wearing camouflage clothing is illegal for civilians? It is reserved for the military. If you wear camo shorts, you can be fined or arrested by local police. If you get arrested and miss the ship's departure time, the ship will not wait for you. The CBD trap is even more dangerous. You might be from a state where marijuana or CBD is legal. You might buy it legally in a port of call. But the moment you step onto the gangway of the ship, you are entering international maritime jurisdiction. Federal law prohibits these substances on cruise ships, even if you have a prescription. Cruise ships use drug-sniffing dogs and X-ray scanners every time you reboard. If they find a joint or CBD oil in your bag, it is confiscated, police might be called, and you are denied reboarding. Imagine watching your ship sail away with your clothes and passport inside while you are standing on the dock with police, all because of a $20 bag of gummies. It happens every single week. Cruising is the best way to see the world, but it comes with a unique set of rules. The captain's authority is absolute. There is no court of appeals on the ocean. If you avoid these 7 mistakes, if you respect the crew, leave the walkie-talkies at home, and keep your jokes to yourself at security, you will have the vacation of a lifetime. If you do ever find yourself in a situation where security is involved, stay calm. Yelling makes you a threat. Apologizing is your only chance. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever seen someone get kicked off a ship? Tell me the gossip in the comments below. And if you want to know the opposite of getting kicked off, specifically how to get treated like royalty without paying extra, you need to watch the video on the screen right now about 5 ways to get a free cabin upgrade. Click there, and I'll see you on the next one. Safe travels.